everybody, welcome to the Midweek Check In. I am here with one of our very, very awesome interns who happens to be my intern on this rotation, Sam. How are you today, Sam?
Good.
We are talking all about the book of Job this week because that's where we're at in our reading plan within the reading project there. And I just want to know, Sam, what do you think about Job and his friends?
I think that Job's friends are very uncool and they weren't very helpful to him.
I know. We were talking as we were getting ready for this midweek check-in just about how poor Job, he actually was in the midst of suffering, which we've all been in the midst of suffering before. And this guy was the quintessential suffering man, right? Praise the Lord, I've never suffered this way. Have you suffered that way?
No.
Like Job? No. But we have been at the hands of friends like Job's, and what were they doing? They were coming in and just kind of trying to fix him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And what do we really want friends to do in the midst of suffering?
Most of the time to just listen.
Yeah. We just want people to be with us, right? When we're suffering and we're struggling, we really just ultimately want people to be with us. But Job's friends were so convinced that God is a God of justice. And in the way they saw that was the only way bad things would be happening to you, Job, is if you did something bad. But we know by reading the text that actually Job didn't do anything wrong at all. And yes, he was struggling and suffering and wrestling even with what God was doing and where God was at in the midst of it. But he always came back to what he knew to be true about the Lord deep in his core. Honestly, I think this is also a really good lesson for us, huh, Sam?
Yeah.
Yeah. How can we be good friends to people who are in the midst of suffering?
Just by hearing them out.
Yeah. Hearing them out, and not by coming in and just reading them their mail and just saying this is what you need to do and here's how you're going to feel better and chop chop. And some of the reasons why I think that we don't do that is because other people's suffering often make us uncomfortable, right? So we go into fix-it mode, right? Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like that's kind of part of it. We go into fix-it mode. We want our friends to be better. We really want to rescue them, I guess, from it. But suffering has a work to do. We're promised suffering, right? I mean, Jesus suffered, so we're definitely going to be suffering too.
Sure.
Yeah. So I think that it's really important for us to learn a lesson from Job's friends, not to mention Job for sure. From Job, we can learn that suffering is real, it's going to be happening, but what we know is true about God needs to be deep in the core of us before suffering comes. And then what we know about Job's friends, which isn't helpful at all, is to not be fixers at all, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Sam? Can you think of a time when you had a friend who was a really good friend to you, who just was there for you, was just present and patient?
I can't think of a time right now, but one of the times that I was there for one of my friends was at youth group. I had noticed she was a little down and went over and just held her hand.
That's so good. You didn't say anything, you didn't really have anything to say, you were just present with her. That is so powerful, right? And I bet people have done that for you too in your life. Yeah. Well, this week, as we continue our way through the book of Job, let's remember that. Let's just be there for each other. We don't have to offer advice. We don't have to fix people and their problems. And we don't have to say, swoop in and rescue them from it. We can actually embrace suffering with them. That sounds harsh, but I do think it's part of what we're called to. So listen, you guys, keep reading. And if you have any questions about what you are reading, make sure you send me an email at shannon@livingwordoakharbor.com. And of course, if the Lord is moving in any really awesome and powerful way, which I know he's moving in your guys' lives out there, send me an email too, because I want to hear about that. Don't we, Sam?
Yes.
Yeah. All right, you guys, well, that's it for Sam and I this week. We will see you next week. Bye.
Bye.